Alright, this is part 2, BKHM Catering requirements slash configuration. I've added the product to the database and then it required me to log in. So I've since logged in and it's now going off of my the address that I have in here as a default. So now we ought to be able to calculate the exact distance in miles, at least according to Google. So that's at this point we would have to change the calculation for dollars per mile exceeding the 4-mile range or a X mile range from a fixed location that we determined ahead of time. So when I add this to the cart, down here, it add in the mileage if it's greater than that 4 miles. We add it to the cart, and here we go. Now keep in mind that we've already asked the question. There were 20 people, so this field would automatically be filled in 20, and then do the calculation. I could either plus up or plus down this calculation. If I were to continue to order and try to add something to the cart, it would need to pop up and say only one item per order, is allowed. Either remove this one or go back, or okay to remove and continue shopping. So what this one item is going to be in order for 20 people, and then the various choices that are with that. Now, if the mileage bit is included per item, then we just will have Kaveri add in those extra mileage pieces. If it's not, if it's a flat charge beyond this fixed point that we predetermined, then that would be a separate item that's automatically added into the cart. Now, in addition to that, every order that we take on the catering site will be a 50% or a percentage. Essentially, it's a deposit. But what we're going to need to do is, what we thought about doing is go ahead and creating a coupon that takes 50% off of the order total. So let's say this were $10 times 10, this would be $100. The mileage is either embedded in the item, or it's a separate item that gets added on, X amount of dollars per mileage, and then the coupon item that we add to the cart will be called down payment, and it will basically take off. In this case, it's going to be set to take off 50%. So that item will also need to be added to the cart. And what this is it's not necessarily, we have to change some of the language. It's not necessarily an order. It's essentially it's a down payment or an order request or something will come up with this. But that's the bottom line. And then in addition to the site, once we process it, the merchant account that we use will need to be set up and in the format of approval. So the order will go through. We're going to need to get an approval from the merchant, and then we let it. If we don't hear back from the merchant 3 days later, we're going to process it. If we hear back from the merchant and they want to change it, well, then we can make some changes, or we cancel the order based off of what they say. Eventually, we like to tie this in with a POS, so the merchant then could go in and make changes to this down payment that the customer has made, and then finish processing using our system. So this will also eventually get integrated with our online POS. But will essentially allow the merchant to go back in and make the changes to the order. But for now, we need to have the mileage calculated. We need to have the total number of people that piece figured in. We'll also have to put in the 50% discount. I'll talk with Hitesh regarding how we'll start testing that 50% item coupon.